Hello world, it's me, Julian Venables, the London Astrologer, and I'm here to give you your weekly almanac for the week from today, the 26th of May, through to the 1st of June 2021. So it's the full moon and it's a lunar eclipse. These happen every 6 months. This time around we have the lunar eclipse first. So this is really essentially about letting go of something. You know, if something doesn't work anymore in your life, you can drop it, okay? But in a nice way, you know, because this is a friendly eclipse. It's a Gemini and Sagittarius, which is very outgoing. So we're looking at air and fire here, which is upward lifting and outgoing. So there's a lot of optimism and enthusiasm. There's a lot of joviality and liveliness, and there's a buoyancy to the whole thing right now. Can you feel it in the air? You know, it's like really quite a nice mood today. So that generally keeps things going and bubbling and a sort of a general feel of things can happen. You know, we can keep expanding outwards, we can keep growing, we can keep philosophizing, we can keep understanding the truth. And the truth is where it's at as well. There's a sense of honesty, directness, frankness. You know, where is the truth in all this? Where is the honesty of it? And how can we ride that wave? So you know, keep your spirits up, I'd say, with this lunar eclipse today. Now, of course, the Gemini and Sag are mutable signs, so there's also a sense of adaptation and variation and allowing for change. Because if you allow for the changes to happen, then, you know, you can move forwards in new directions. Nothing wrong with that. Life is all about change anyway. So, you know, it's always about just, you know, coping with the next thing as it happens. So, you know, this time around is just like having that understanding, and I think you're going to have a nice day, all right? So, you know, in 2 weeks' time, we'll have a solar eclipse in Gemini, the new moon in Gemini. That'll be another thing to talk about. But right now is let something go. The moon brings something to light. It maybe is something that, you know, is something on the lines of if you explore, if you reach out, if you know, get outdoors, for example, you know, look at this weather today in England, you know, lovely weather, right? So get outdoors, you know, see the expanse of the world, get a bigger view, a bigger outlook on life, and things will be good. So that brings us to Thursday, the 27th of May, when we have Venus in Gemini, who is lining up at the moment, or will be lining up with Mercury again soon. But Venus is in Gemini, and it is squaring Neptune in Pisces. So this also is, you know, well, Venus in Gemini wants to be flirty and chatty and social and fun. It's about attracting things in a light-hearted way, okay, and not being particularly serious about anything. Neptune in Pisces is like, well, how the merging and the unifying is inevitable. It's like I've got to sort of blend and become one with something, you know. But the square between the two is some tension or pressure, because Venus is going, I want to have fun, I want to be, you know, sparkling, should we say. Neptune is going, yeah, but I want the depth of experience, or I want the depth of feeling. I want it to go, you know, and in a way that is. It's a lovely thing, but you've got to look out for how you're relating to others at this time, or how others are relating to you. So there might be quite a lot of overlook or deception, or, you know, quite a heavy word, a little bit of an illusory quality to things. So maybe stay light, stay on the Venusian side of light, and just see it as, you know, don't get too deeply involved, maybe, at this time. Bringing us to Saturday, the 29th of May, when Mercury conjuncts Venus in Gemini. So again, this is actually a lovely aspect. Mercury is in its own sign at the moment. Venus, you know, this is beautiful words. It's poetry, it's art, it's music. It's these things where Mercury, the mind, or the communicator, or the decider, goes with Venus, which is the pleasure seeker, which is the sensual connector of all things and attraction. So it's like attracting a nice voice, or attracting a nice mind, or you know, like a sort of a beautiful moment. And it's in an air sign. So it's about a beautiful conversation. It's about a beautiful article that you might read. It's about a beautiful something or other that makes you feel, yeah, you know, that's nice. So Mercury and Venus, you know, Saturday, it's a weekend thing. And it also makes the square to Neptune, because Venus and have just been doing that before. Mercury's doing that as well. So there's a really strong focus on that Neptunian influence at the moment. I'd say be wary of what you might call being taken for a ride, you know, like that sense of like, oh my God, they completely hoodwinked me, or they completely deluded me, or something like that, you know. But it could also be highly romantic. It could be a beautiful romance, you know, it could be something really, really special. So, you know, just pay attention to how far it goes, and the feelings and the sense of maybe losing boundaries is very strong at this time. So that brings us then also to the Mercury stationing that day as well. This is now the beginning of the Mercury retrograde. So this will be going over material that you've already experienced. So these last couple of weeks of there'll be repeated patterns coming through at this time. So plenty to analyze, plenty to reflect on, plenty to review, and plenty to think about again, or make a second decision about. So let that keep mulling things over as well. More on the Mercury retrograde later, of course. So that brings us to Sunday the 30th of May, when Mars, currently in the water sign of the Crab. Now Mars, technically speaking, in traditional astrology, is not particularly happy in the sign of the Crab, because the Crab has pincers and it can use them a lot. You know, gets a bit crabby, let's say, or a bit moody, more like. And so, you know, there's a sense of being very protective, being very, you know, needing to strive for security. And the Mars heats it up. So it's a hot and dry planet in a water sign. This can create steam. When it trines Neptune, then it's like, well, what, you know, action can be for the greater good. So that's a beautiful thing. So there's a compassion, empathic sense behind all this. But there's a push to helping others as well, like maybe not so much forcing yourself, but there's a sense of, you know, basically don't pander yourself to others and don't run around in circles chasing rainbows, because what you might find instead is, you know, you can help others, and that's a good thing, you know, but maybe don't go too far, you know. You know, there's a sort of understanding a certain limit to things. The trine encourages, the trine makes for harmony and bliss, and a genuinely thing where the two planets are getting on well together. So when Mars and Neptune are getting on well, then you've got the spiritual warrior, the spiritual Neptune, the warrior Mars, and they're linked together. So it's a good thing through emotion and through feeling. So this is it's kind of like a good Samaritan, actually, as well. So think of it like that. Bringing us to Monday, the 31st of May, when Venus, still in Gemini, makes a semi-square to Uranus. So this is half a square, 45 degrees, half a square. There's tension, there's push, there's a motivator behind it. Venus wants fun. We talked a little bit about Venus already. Venus wanting light, sparkle, fun, gossip and chat and friendliness and a good party. Uranus wants a sensual connection because it's in Taurus. Uranus is awakening to the sensual connection of something. So it can be like, right then, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to get a feeling for something. So there may be, you know, connecting like that. But there's also something to do there with money, values, worth and finance, because Venus is that, very much so. Remember, Mercury is stationing with Venus at the moment to do its retrograde, and then Venus connects to Uranus. So there may be something very interesting about money and resources on the Monday, the 31st of May. That then brings us to the last day of the week, which will be Tuesday, the 1st of June, when we have the Sun making a sesqui-square to Pluto. And that, if a semi-square is half of a square, a sesqui-square is a square and a half. So if a square is 90 degrees, a semi-square is 45, a sesqui-square is 135. Yeah, all right, but you know. So Sun square, sesqui-square Pluto is adding some tension to something. So it's agitation possibly, you know, so don't get agitated, right? In fact, I would say a combination of a semi-square on Monday the 31st between the money and Uranus in Taurus, followed by a Sun to Pluto on the 1st, which is a sesqui-square, I would say see what's going on in financial markets, stocks, shares, cryptocurrency. You know, there might be a sudden, you know, well, let's just see, all right? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down, right? So, you know, because there's tension between Venus, there's several planets to do with planets and signs linked to money there. So pay attention to that. You know, as they say with cryptocurrency, you have to do the exact opposite to make it work. You have to buy at the dips and not sell. That's what they say. But, you know, so it's an interesting time on Monday the 31st and Tuesday the 1st. I hope you enjoyed this weekly almanac, and do subscribe to my channel, which I think is either here or here. There's a button to have it press there, press the button, click the bell, and I really do hope that you come back for more. I'll be doing these once a week. Please enjoy my weekly almanac, which you'll see as a one page. That's available on social media. Please share it, tell your friends, get more involved. I've got an innovative new idea here. I'm bringing it out to the world, and I hope you enjoy it. So it's a pleasure to talk to you. I am available to give readings, and call on me, and speak to you again soon. Take care. Enjoy the Gemini Sagittarius influence today. Okay, you know, there's lots of planets in Gemini. It should be fun. All right, so take care, have fun, and see you next time. Bye.